Okay. Hi boys, we're live. We're live. Live and direct, I think. Alright boys, we're live. Yo, what's up, Moha? Got 5 minutes until this. Wait, can you hear me? Audio input. Is my mic good here? Let me double check. Is my mic good? Is it this one? Alright, cool. That's kind of weird. Cool. Hold up one sec. Let me double check. Welcome. What's up? Just double checking this mic real quick. Alright, yeah, we good. We good. Camera should be good. 2 more minutes till. Why is my cam slightly off? That is kind of weird, isn't it? I think we should be good. Alright. Yeah, 2 minutes till rate. The expectation obviously is for no change. We got the statement as well. And then we have the press conference with Lagarde in about 30 minutes. So we should see an initial. 7482, I'm getting a phone call, but I don't know who that is. Anybody got time for that? Yeah, all right, cool. So let's see what happens. I'm not really too sure. I think we might see some downside. Again, just because the euro's been so strong lately, I wonder if the ECB is going to talk down, be a bit dovish, just to protect their margins. Let's see. Whoopsie. Bring this across a little bit more. All right, so as expected, everything stays the same. Pretty normal. Again, it'll be interesting to see what the rate statement says, if they've changed their wording or not. We do have initial jobless then in 15 as well. And then 30 minutes, we've got a press conference with Lagarde. Incoming information is broadly in line with ECB's previous assessment, yada yada. I mean, longs are fine, but not with this amount of news coming now. Got this whole daily range. You know, we came into the discount, this range, swept sell side, then have started to push higher, started to displace higher. You know, we saw that strength, saw that rejection. H1 looks like it could flip this, or it has flipped this bearish array. All right, let's see what's going on here. Domestic price pressures have continued to ease, wages growing more slowly. Partly reflecting ECB's past interest rate cuts, economy has so far proven resilient overall in a challenging global environment. At the same time, the environment is exceptionally uncertain, blah, 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 blah. Not pre-committing, determined to ensure that inflation stabilizes, will follow data dependent, meeting by meeting, yada, 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 yada. So, pretty neutral stance here. Is anyone in any trades or what? Hey, yo, what's good, Luke? I didn't realize Luke was in this call. Live stream. My bad, bro. Yo, my bad. Yeah. Kind of funky. You know, we've seen DXY sweep this low. So you got that quote unquote divergence there. Nothing really much on the higher time frames here. Stock's doing nothing. Again, I do like this for higher prices, but you know, we should get some more confirmation of that volatility later today. Or during the speech, should I say. Yeah, let's see. Maybe I could move my chart over a little bit. There we go. Looks a bit better. Little bit cleaner. I'm not in this long, by the way. Yo, what's up, Mr. Tag? How we doing? I think there is still a lot more volatility to come. Shut those fucking dogs up. Hi there, Mr. Tag. Where are you from? Do I know you? Should I know you? Fuck, dude. 8 minutes, then we've got jobless claims as well. Morocco. Nice. Could do with some Moroccan heat right about now. I should really post this in my Telegram or something, shouldn't I? Get some more peeps in here. Brazil. What would be your confirmation to take this trade? I mean, I wouldn't take this trade, so. Alright, it's in the Telegram. Fuck it. We got a press conference in 20. Initial jobless in 5. You know, because the news or technical, what would be your confirmation? Yeah, no, because the news. I'm not gonna take a position now ahead of press conference. Number one, news. Number two, the fact that we took, you know, this previous day's high during Asia. So that can typically signal potential high of the day, especially because we haven't revisited Asia high. Yeah, mostly because of news. Not a huge fan. Alex, what indicator use daily candle print? This one is ICT HTF candles by Fardy, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, you can just have a nice collection. You can have as many as you want. Really nice and customizable. I did used to use 2 degrees high time frame power of 3 by 2 degrees, but the only thing with the 2 degrees one is I like to have multiple time frame candles, whereas with this I don't believe you can. I mean, it's much more customizable. Better quality overall, but yeah, I can't have more than one time frame on one indicator slot, so I'd rather just use the free one. It's far better. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, so oftentimes during these sort of price action where your high time frame objective has already been met, so this previous day high has already been met. Your high time frame draw liquidity has been met, right? So like, what are you targeting at this point? If I'm looking for buys here, what's my target? Why is price going to be drawn towards previous daily high when it's already swept it? It's already reacted from it, and it's tracking lower currently. Ultimately we're intraday traders, right? So whatever else happens, I don't really care. It all that matters is what's happened from yesterday's candle and today's current candle. And the fact that we've already kind of formed this like topping out pattern is a reason why that I wouldn't or why it's low probability for longs and why I would avoid them, because there's no target. Sure, you could say Asia high is a target, but it's not as strong. The chat lags about 4 seconds. Shit, is there a way to reduce that? Like, how do I get rid of that delay? Can I do that in OBS, or do I have to do that afterwards? What's keyframe interval mean? Anyway, we've got news in 1 minute. Maybe I'll keyframe interval. I got keyframe interval in 2 seconds. Maybe that's making it worse. I don't know. Why don't you trade news? I just don't really have an edge trading news. I'll hold a position through news, depending. But I won't take a trade pre-news. Just rather not risk. It's probabilities that I can't really quantify. So if I'm in a trade already, fine, whatever. But I'm not looking for trades around news. Do we have a job? I work part-time at my local gym. Chat lag doesn't matter, honestly. I just told you that because I could see the lag myself. Bet. Scores on the doors are... Alright, so initial jobless is at better, slightly better. So that's obviously going to be good for the dollar. Continued jobless, no difference basically. CAD retail sales down. What that does to the CAD, if anything. Nothing. Would still like some shorts on dollar CAD. A little bit higher. It's kind of difficult because we've reacted nicely to this previous week's low, where it's like a no wick low basically. So nice reaction from there. So now I guess your first target would be this daily imbalance, this previous daily high. So I'd like to see this high taken, then target these weak lows. But again, you're starting to form some bullish structure. So that's also a possibility, but I'm not going to get too caught up in technical analysis because it's can really confuse your confidence and your vision and your clarity within your strategy. So there's only a set criteria that I'll look for. Everything else is just noise. Again, the more noise that you have, the less likely you are to be able to execute consistently. So there we go. You're starting to see this lower sell side reached in this H1. Call this H1 displacement. Bit of a reaction from there. Be interesting to see if that holds. Think if this doesn't hold, then we likely reach previous daily low. Got ECB conference in 10. Could have a very... Again, it's just not ideal, the fact that we've taken previous daily high. And previous daily low. You go to the 1 minute time frame. Okay, shit, I'm a bit behind. I'm preparing for an MBA exam, so next year I'll join uni. Nice. Congrats. What do you think about gold? What do I think about gold? It's a great question. What do I think about gold? Actually, not this chart. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. I think I have some... Yeah, right. So, gold's bullish. I mean, on the higher time frame, that is like weekly and monthly. Daily, we're starting to range pretty heavily now. We're still tracking this bullish trend line, right? So we're still respecting this. Now, this can just continue to go sideways. I don't really have a clear read on gold here. I think it's still pretty pretty wishy-washy. In terms of lower time frame, is just grinding lower. We've seen that shift lower in order flow as well. So it looks pretty weak here. Again, I don't really trade gold, so and my strategy doesn't really work too great on gold unless, you know, there is some extra confluences. But this is just boring. I don't really care much for it. So a decent bit of momentum coming in lower. Switch to the 1 minute. But I don't go for the 1 minute. I'm not that type of guy. Beautiful trade yesterday in USD CAD. Yeah, super clean. I get paralysis going down the time frame below 50 minute. Yeah, I think trading anything below like the, I mean, just for me personally, anything below like 15 minute, I think is just a bit tough. I think it can be very easy to start overthinking lots of things, especially if you don't really have a clear plan or structure, or if there's not specific things you look for. I think you can really get lost in the lower time frames, right? Because there's so much going on. Like there's so much noise. So you need, if you're going to trade the lower time frame, you need to be very specific with what you're looking for. Because if you're not, then you are going to just take some randy setups that are just based off pure emotion and discretion, which is fine, but you're unlikely to see any decent consistency from that approach, in my opinion. You trade crypto? I don't trade crypto, no. I have some crypto, but I don't trade crypto. All right, we got... Oh, this is pushing. It's kind of what I anticipated. But you know, a lot can change during this press conference. It'll be interesting to see how the 4 hour closes and then opens. Right, so we've got 20 minutes until a new 4 hour candle. So if we want to see higher prices, we kind of want to see this displacement hold. Then 4 hour candle opens, manipulates lower, and then you get potential longs. Let me look at the session manipulation, yeah. I didn't actually see this M15. How did I miss that? Alright, I can take that text away then. Any GAPY pairs? Error, YouTube is not responding. Fuck. Is my stream down? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth search viewers. If your stream status is poor, alright, are we good? Stream good. It's not ideal. Let me see. Okay. Output. Maybe I should just do simple. If I lower my bit rate. I just lowered the bit rate a tiny bit. Don't know if that's going to help. Hopefully that does help. So obviously dollar's seeing a bid here. Big bid indeed. Do you trade live daily? As often as I can, which is most mornings, to be fair. The alchemy is coming though. That's exciting. How bullish are you on your journey of trading? Meaning, do you believe you would make hundreds of thousands? Absolutely. 100%. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't believe that it was possible and that I could do it, you know? I think money's never really been the main driver for me. It's always just been trying to be the best that I can. And I think trading is a very addictive profession because it's so challenging. That's why it's so rewarding. You know, money as a motivator can become, you can get lost quite easily. You know, if you take a setback, right, there has to be more motivation behind it. All right, ECB coming up. Let's United Health is responding to civil and criminal. All right, let's get this press conference up. I wonder if I get copyrighted for this. Would I? I don't think so. Shouldn't do, right? Should be starting any second now. Most prob not. What do you mean? I've had salmon out the freezer for 5 days now. Is that still good to eat? Can I eat that? Oh, copyright. I have no idea, I'm a vegetarian. So you don't eat fish? Some vegetarians eat fish, right? Oh no, then you're a... What's a pescatarian? Someone that doesn't eat fish. Or someone that doesn't, or that only eats fish. That doesn't eat fish, right? Ask ChatGPT. Valid. Ask ChatGPT anything. Like everyone's just, all of these photographers are just getting the exact same shot here. Why can there not just be like one guy that gets this gig? Why are we paying like 9 people to take the exact same photo? That's capitalism, boys. Everyone's got 2 cameras. Is that not... Bro, what is that? I know they're from different news agencies, but you get what I'm saying, like... Why do you need everyone? Why can you not just buy it off someone else? Like, it's just a picture of Lagarde, right?
Good afternoon.
It's not anything special.
Welcome to our press conference with President Lagarde
It's like the Matrix, boys.
and Vice President Beginner.
How's the volume, by the way? Is it too loud or is it alright?
As always, we are joined by journalists who are connected via video link. If they ask questions, please turn on the camera and the microphone.
Let me know.
And with that, I hand over to President Lagarde, please.
Thank you very much, Wolfgang, and good day to all of you. The President, the Vice President and myself welcome you to our press conference.
She likes blue today.
The Governing Council today
What does that mean?
decided to keep the 3 key ECB interest rates unchanged. Inflation is currently at our 2% medium-term target. The incoming information is broadly in line with our previous assessment of the inflation outlook.
Sound is okay.
Domestic pressures have continued to ease, with wages growing more slowly. Partly reflecting our past interest rate cuts, the economy has so far proven resilient overall in a challenging global environment. At the same time, the environment remains exceptionally uncertain, especially because of trade disputes.
You're in a marketing agency? Nice.
We are determined
How's that?
to ensure
How's
that
business?
inflation stabilizes at our 2% target.
You want to do some marketing for me?
term. We will follow a data-dependent and meeting-by-meeting approach.
Data dependent and meeting by meeting, yada 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 yada.
Stance. In particular, our interest rate decisions will be based on our assessment of the inflation outlook and the risks surrounding it in light of the incoming economic and financial data, as well as the dynamics of underlying inflation and the strength of monetary policy transmission. We are not pre-committing to a particular rate path.
Yeah.
The decisions taken today are set out in a press release available on our website. And I will now outline in more detail how we see the economy and inflation developing, and will then explain our assessment of financial...
Close the financial year in 60 crores INR in sales. I don't know what that means. But
The economy
congrats, bro.
grew more strongly than expected. This was partly because firms front-loaded exports ahead of expected tariff hikes. But growth was also bolstered by stronger private consumption and investment. Recent surveys point to an overall modest expansion in both the manufacturing and services sector. At the same time, higher actual and expected tariffs, the stronger euro, and persistent geopolitical uncertainty are making firms more hesitant.
£5 million a year?
The robust
Holy
labor
shit, man.
rising
Jesus. The
incomes,
fuck?
and solid private sector balance sheets
Yo,
continue
chill.
to support consumption. Unemployment stood at 6.3% in May.
Yo,
close to
congrats,
its
man.
lowest level since
Jesus.
the introduction of the euro.
That's a fat W.
Easier financing conditions are underpinning domestic demand,
Is that 5.1 net
housing market.
or gross?
Over time, higher public investment in defense and infrastructure should also support growth. More than ever, the Governing Council considers it crucial to urgently strengthen the euro area and its economy in the present geopolitical environment.
What's your agency called?
Fiscal
Shameless
and
plug,
structural
go on.
policies should make the economy more productive, competitive and resilient. Governments should prioritize growth-enhancing structural reforms and strategic investment while ensuring sustainable public
God, this
finances.
woman is saying a whole lot of nothing.
It is important to complete the Savings and Investments Union and the Banking Union following a clear and ambitious timetable and to rapidly establish the legislative framework for the potential introduction of the digital euro. The Governing Council welcomes the Eurogroup's commitment to improve the effectiveness, quality and composition of public spending and supports the efforts by European authorities to preserve the mutual benefits of global trade.
India?
Annual inflation stood at 2% in June, after 1.9% in May. Energy prices went up in June, but are still lower than a year ago. Food price inflation eased slightly to 3.1%. Goods inflation edged down to 0.5% in June, whereas
Yo, this
services
you?
inflation ticked up to 3.3% from 3.2% in May. Indicators of underlying inflation are overall consistent
Let's
with
go.
the 2% medium-term target.
I can't find the website there.
Labour costs have continued to moderate. Year-on-year growth in compensation per employee
Based in Mumbai.
3.8% in the first quarter, down from 4.1% in the previous quarter. Combined with stronger productivity growth, this led to slower growth in unit labour costs. Forward-looking indicators, including the ECB's wage tracker and surveys on wage expectations of firms, consumers and professional forecasters, point to a further decline in wage growth. Short-term consumer inflation expectations declined in both May and June, reversing the uptick observed in previous months. Most measures of longer-term inflation expectations continue to stand at around 2%.
The hell was that sound?
Stabilization of inflation around our target. Turning now to the risk assessment. Risks to economic growth remain tilted to the downside.
Check the first post.
Among
What, the
main
first or
risks
like the
are
latest, do you mean?
escalation in global trade tensions and associated uncertainties, which could dampen exports and drag down investment and consumption. A deterioration in financial market sentiment could lead to tighter financing conditions and greater risk aversion, and make firms and
Cool,
households
bro.
less willing to invest and consume. Geopolitical tensions, such as Russia's unjustified war against Ukraine,
Good shit, brother.
the tragic conflict in the Middle East, remain a major source of uncertainty.
Now the top third. I'm off that shit now anyway.
If trade
Congrats.
and geopolitical tensions were resolved swiftly, this could lift sentiment.
How's it going with the alchemy? Yeah, great, man.
Higher defense and
We're doing a
infrastructure
revamp. We're going away from
together with
the monthly
productivity
sub
enhancing
model.
reforms would add to growth.
You can't really
And
create
importantly,
a
business
solid community with a
confidence
monthly
would
sub, and
also
it's
stimulate private investment.
um
The outlook for inflation is more uncertain
because
than
people just come in 1 month, leave the next, and it's like you can't really make an impact on people, and people aren't really fully committed to it. So
could bring inflation down further than
we are
Moreover, inflation
turning
could
it
turn out to be lower if higher tariffs
into
lead
more of
to
a
lower demand for euro area
more of a hub,
exports,
more of a
and
community-based,
induce countries with overcapacity to reroute their
a bit of a
exports to the euro
serious
area.
community
Trade tensions lead to greater volatility and risk aversion
where
in
we can
financial
actually
markets, which
help
would
people
weigh on
directly.
domestic
So
demand and would thereby also lower
you should say
inflation.
justified discretion against Ukraine. I don't know what the fuck she said. I haven't been listening.
Inflation could
Probably.
turn out to be
Nah, she didn't say that.
if a fragmentation
I
of
mean, shit,
global
maybe she
supply
did.
chains pushed up import prices and added to capacity constraints in a domestic
Did she
economy.
say anything?
A boost in defense and infrastructure spending could also raise inflation over the medium term.
Should we
Extreme
invest
weather
in
events
some
and the unfolding of climate crisis
defense
more broadly
stocks?
could drive up food prices by more than expected. So looking
Like
at the
Lockheed
financial
Mead,
and
or whatever it's
monetary
called.
conditions.
Lockheed?
Market interest rates have increased since our last meeting,
Or
especially at
RTX?
longer maturities. At the same time, our past interest rate cuts continue
What is
to make
RTX?
corporate borrowing
Pretty sure.
less expensive.
There you go, RTX hit all-time
Average
highs.
interest rate on new loans to firms
That's a defense stock, I'm
declined
pretty
to
sure.
3.7%
NOK is a
in May,
defense stock as well.
from 3.8% in April. The
On
cost of issuing
good
market-based
earnings.
debt also
All-time
came
highs?
down,
All-time highs, maybe?
falling to 3.6% in May.
That's a thing to invest in right now. Maybe a bit of Snapchat.
Rate of loans to firms moderated
Bit of
to
Snapchat. I think it's probably like
2.5%
free
in May.
money at this point to invest in
Corporate
Snapchat.
bond issuance was stronger,
Not financial
growing at a
advice.
rate of 3.4% in
Not
annual
financial
terms.
advice.
Credit standards for business loans were broadly unchanged in the second quarter, as reported in our latest bank lending survey for the euro area. While banks' concerns about the economic risks faced by their customers
Rolls Royce
had
is a
a
hell of a
impact on
stock.
credit standards, this was broadly offset by stronger
that.
competition among lenders. Meanwhile, firms' demand for credit increased slightly,
That's insane.
benefiting from
in 2
lower
years.
interest rates, but they remain
2000%.
cautious because of global uncertainty and trade tensions.
Airbus is good.
The average interest rate
Boeing's
on
good.
new
I bought some
mortgages
Boeing
has
stock
been
down here, like
unchanged since the start of the year,
150,
and stood at
160-ish.
3.2% in May. Growth in mortgage lending edged up to 2%.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I've checked out of this
context
chick.
of a strong increase
Not even
in
listening to
demand,
what she's saying right now.
while credit standards tightened slightly in the second quarter.
Market rates have increased since last
So in
meeting.
conclusion, the Governing Council today decided to
Stronger
keep
euro could damp
interest
inflation more than
rates
expected.
unchanged.
Outlook
We
for
are
euro,
determined to
inflation
ensure
is
that
more uncertain than
inflation
usual.
stabilizes at our 2%
Risk to
target
economic
in
growth
the medium
remain
term.
tilted to the downside. Long-term
We will
inflation
follow
expectations.
a data-dependent and meeting by
Dating
meeting
dependent, meeting by
determining
meeting,
the
yada
appropriate
yada
monetary
yada.
policy
Classic.
Our interest rate decisions will be based on our assessment of the inflation outlook and the risks surrounding it, in light of the incoming economic and financial data, as well as the
Alchemy is a
dynamics
game
of underlying
changer,
inflation
moving you to a
and the
professional
strength of
approach. Let's
monetary
go,
policy
Moha.
transmission. We are not pre-committing to a
The
particular
Aman
rate path.
Pandi. I have lost
In any case,
$300 in 5 years to
stand
now.
ready to
Oh, you're the
adjust
one that commented
all
on
our
my
instruments within our mandate to ensure that
YouTube
inflation
video.
stabilizes sustainably
Yo,
at
what's
our
up?
medium-term target, and to preserve the smooth functioning of monetary policy transmission.
Oh,
And we are now ready to take your questions.
And the first question goes to Annette Weisbach of CNBC. Annette, please.
President Lagarde, thank you for taking my question.
Hang on, I thought it was all
is on the
video
euro
calls.
exchange rate. So we've heard from your dear colleague, the Vice President Luis de Guindos in Sintra, that anything beyond 120 might be complicated. So what's your assessment? When does it start to get complicated, and when do the deflationary effects from that higher euro do start to
Yeah, it is.
you?
It is dead
Second
boring,
question
right?
is
You're
on
right.
tariffs. If we were
So fucking boring. But I think that kind of wraps it up for news today. Trump signs executive orders. Trump visits the Fed. Trump visits the Fed? Yo, announce Trump and Powell fight tonight. They're announcing it. I think this is the weigh-in. I think the weigh-in's tonight, and then fight tomorrow. Friday fight night, innit? So, yeah, big weigh-in tonight with fucking Trump and Powell. It's funny. That could be interesting. I don't know if he's talking or not, but I mean, if Trump's going anywhere near the Fed, then it could be fireworks, right? That guy's always got something to say. That guy's always got something to say. We do actually have manufacturing PMI and services PMI in 45 minutes on USD. Doesn't show it on this chart for whatever reason. It says it's red folder news, but it looks like we'll see some volatility later as well, potentially. So really there's nothing of interest for me. I've bought FTMO, so hold me one spot for Alchemy. First payout is going to you guys. My man, hey, it'll be a pleasure. Hopefully we can build a solid group in there. I think that's the hardest part about building a community is finding good quality people that want to commit. Bro, I know a guy who made over $12 million selling £12 million selling courses. He sold each course at £13. What? He sold what, in India? What, a course in India? There's no way, right? £12 million. He sold a course to 923,000 people. 900,000 people he sold a course to. What the fuck? That's insane. That's insane. Fair play. All right, so we're having the new 4-hour candle open. We've swept, only just swept previous 4-hour low. So like it's kind of yeesh. Funky still. You kind of see how this 15-minute candle forms. Obviously we're still holding it's just that, are we anticipating a slightly deeper pullback now? Could be. Who knows? Why don't you sell courses? We are building a mentorship currently. But I've never really felt the urge to sell a course. I was very focused on my own personal journey before it really made sense. And meta ads are cheaper here. I suppose there's a lot of people in India to sell to, man. And especially if you're selling it at £13. Like, people just gobble that shit up. In India, having clients is not the problem. Oh, what did she say? She said something. Lagarde said something, boys. What did she say? See, this is why we shouldn't have stopped watching. Alright? Fuck. What did she say? Changing reaction function reflects we're in a good place. The ECB is relying on the June baseline for the moment. June baseline holds. We're attentive to the path of trade negotiations. We're in a good place. That sweep's good. Kind of wish it was a little bit more though. Reacting to that session manipulation. What is stat map saying? Yeah, we're obviously in that manipulation. The fact that we've gone beyond this ADR is a little bit funky. What is DXY doing? DXY reacting off of these lows. Some SMT at these lows. SMT at these 4-hour lows on EU and DXY. Bro, I just bought a milk that has 300 grams of protein in it. Pure cow milk, 500 ml. Fucking gains. Pure estrogen. Cost is £0.50 or even less. I mean, that's what milk costs in the UK as well. Actually, maybe it doesn't. No, it probably does, actually. Actually, maybe not for 500 ml. Cheeks for Trump, she must have said. I mean, thing is now it's like, if I'm going to enter, the risk to reward just isn't really there for me. So even if I wanted to enter, not ideal. Dolce and Gabbana. Yo, Dolce, you still in this call? If you are, DM me. I can't remember what your handle is on IG. No M5 entry. I mean, if you take those M5s, then sure. If this loads. Not really. I mean, if you want to call that structure, then sure. But I'm not searching here. I mean, obviously M1, you've had that shift, but that's not what I trade. I trade M15 for the most part. That's just where I'm most comfortable, where I'm most confident. So that's where I like to position myself. When are you gonna stop stream? Oh, when are you gonna stop the stream? How long have we been live for now? Been live for over an hour. Growth in line, if not better than the baseline, Lagarde says. That's good. Bullish euro. It's a shame that kind of we didn't form a little bit more structure here. Could have gone in with a bit of a tighter entry, and a bit of a deeper sweep of the H4 candle. But you know, this is kind of typical price action, where you know you see price trade into discount, sweep some sell side, react from a POI, sweep previous 4-hour lows, and then you see a bit of an injection of volume All right, man. Keep doing the work. I'll connect you on Insta and I'll send you a DM. Take care. All right. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. How do you organize trading view layout? Do you have it by time frame M5, M15? So this is how I do it. I have lower time frame charts with all my lower time frame drawings on one tab, and then I'll switch potentially down to the M5 when I feel like it, or when I feel that it's necessary. Majority of the time these charts are just fixed on the M15 and the 1 hour. If this loads, thank you. So very often I'll start on the 1 hour, obviously identify where's order flow, blah blah blah, any POIs the day prior, and then the majority of the day I'll just spend on the M15, because I just trade within, basically we just trade within yesterday's previous daily candle, right? I have a high time frame chart here, and obviously this is just for personal preference. I like to this is just purely for higher time frame, so I like to look at, you know, where's the trend, where's, you know, higher time frame draws on liquidity, where are potential targets, where's price likely to react from. So obviously I drew this this no wick low back on Monday as a target, and then again I'll just keep that in mind every day, and then I'll shift to the weekly as well, but I like to have 4 charts, 4 different pairs, and 4 main pairs. So I'll have DXY, EU, GU, and dollar CAD. GU is mostly for spotting strength and weaknesses in EU, and, you know, looking for SMTs and all that kind of jazz. So I won't really trade GU. I'll just use it as a bit of a proxy for strength and weakness. So there's that shift. But again, because I'm intraday trading, not going to get into this. Even if it could go higher, I know it probably can, but the fact of the matter is I'm just trading yesterday's range, and the fact that we took yesterday's range already, and the fact that there's no really risk to reward for me to target. You can obviously get an OTE, like drawing a fib, drawing some BPRs. You know, if you want to look for those entries, and these definitely work. You know, I've got some good data on M3 inversions. So, you know, these do work quite nicely depending on the year. So let me pull up FX replay. Let's go get some food in a minute. It's lunchtime, boys. So this is the data for M3 inversions 2024. So it's very similar to just the normal data as is. Like, strike rate's very much the same. Total trades is probably slightly less, just because very often price will shift and then just keep going without pulling back. The only thing with these is that you have a slightly higher average risk to reward, because you can exploit a bit more, obviously, because you have a tighter entry. So if I was trading the M3 inversions, that's what I'd take. And then you've got at least a 1-to-1 to previous Asia. What do you think about GJ? I don't really care about GJ, but I'll look at it if you want. What do I think about GJ? Yeah, it's bullish. It's going higher. 4 hour is choppy as fuck. M15 or lower time frame, should I say, is choppy as fuck. Within yesterday's range still. It's like an inside bar within an inside bar within an inside bar. So ugly. I'd just tune off that chart. No thanks. Last one. What is the difference in BOS and MSS? MSS is just shift between buying and selling side. MSS is just a market structure shift. So the way that I see that is just you have a downtrend. Creating lower lows, lower highs, and then you break previous highs. That's both a break. That's a market shift in my eyes. A break of a BOS or a chock, what a break of structure is more so like this internal. So like this is a BOS. BOS. If you like that handwriting. So like this is a BOS. This would be an MS or MSS. At least in my eyes. And that's how I would quantify and view it. Right. So basically the same, just the difference is if it's internal. Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't call them, everything to me is try not to complicate the terminology too much because it can be really easy to get lost in naming different things. But yeah, it's either an internal shift or an external shift. And obviously it's time frame dependent. ICT or SMC? I don't know. What's the question? Like, who would win in a fight? Who even is it not the same thing? I don't know. What's the difference? Smart money concepts or ICT? Explain to me what's the difference, then I'll tell you which team I'm on. I'm team Michael J. Hudson. I don't know what his fucking name is. Michael J. Hudson. Hudson, is it? I don't know what his name is. IC to the motherfucking T. Matty learned from Riz Saradaro, right? Yeah. Matty has been with Riz since pretty much the beginning. He's been pretty locked in with Riz. He started trading funds from Riz also on Riz's hedge fund or however he structures it. I'm not 100% sure on what his structure is there, because it all depends on his jurisdictions, right? Holy shit, you see that vein in my neck? Jesus. Alright, last questions before I'm going to dip out. Pretty much nothing on the menu today. I did want dollar CAD shorts, which dollar CAD shorts potentially. Do I use volume profile? No. Volume profile is more for futures trading. Ooh, hang on a minute. Pause. Hold up. Wait a minute. I don't wanna say do 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 do. We need to breach this high. EU was that? Yeah. Dollar CAD's now trading back into daily displacement, back into 4-hour displacement as well. You know, the fact that we did see such a big move, there's the potential that you just see this just trickle higher and completely retrace this whole bearish leg. Just fair valuate all of it, because this is obviously just low liquidity here. If we draw in, what can I draw in? What is the tool? Anchored volume profile. Yeah, so you can see that throughout this whole range is just low volume. So very often when you see that, you'll see price rediscover these areas and start transacting within these prices, filling up this volume. But nevertheless, this is still potential strategy, potential trade. Potential trade on the cards. I'll stop looking for a trade about 4 p.m. UK time. So hour and a half left to see if anything formulates here. But appreciate you tuning in, Mr. Tag. Good stream. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. This was a pretty good one. Pretty good stream. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate the love. So we'll see if I go live tomorrow. Maybe. I've got a few errands to run, a few tasks to complete. So with that being said, appreciate everyone for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll speak to you all very soon.